Episode 56 MD November 26, 2023. PA times 0.514 plus 1.8304 gives independence from wood burning, a sketch. By now, you've seen Fall 2023's viral Saturday Night Live skit about George Washington's infamous and totally fictional 1777 scheme to create a divergence of weights and measures between the 1777 American colonies and the rest of the world, as America fought for its freedom. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=JYQFVE-FE. The portrayal of George Washington will rank near the top of the list in SNL's top 10 pantheon of thespians. We take the basic idea of the American Revolution and impose it on the aims of residents against wood smoke emission particulates to give you the altered skit, below the actual transcript of the skit. The critical raves about the original SNL sketch included "This is low-key," and "one of the most out-of-nowhere best sketches out of SNL in a while." SNL sketch, the definitive text. This caught the RAWSEP editor's eye because SNL went to the trouble of setting a fire on the set of SNL to show 1777 American soldiers around a campfire. A wood-burning campfire was a way to stay warm in 1777, outside in the winter. Washington speaking to only men around a campfire also symbolizes the political cliché of the traditional United States smoke-filled room where secret deals were made, as well as the traditional man cave resembling a caveman smoke-filled refuge, harkening back to a time when wood-burning was the only form of heat, except perhaps for natural hot springs such as those found in Iceland, and at Hot Springs, Arkansas, and at Old Faithful in the United States. Maybe the lack of wood-burning fires enabled Iceland to become a highly literate nation, because the cognitive deterioration from exposure to wood smoke was not as prevalent in Iceland, due to the presence of natural hot springs. To digress, ancient Greece and the Roman Empire also had warm climates, making wood burning less necessary in Greece and the Roman Empire to keep homes warm, possibly enabling a flowering of culture in the absence of cognitive decline caused by inhaling wood smoke. Even only a visual of the smoke on the SNL set hurt the RAWSEP editor's eyes, and the editor briefly turned away. But RAWSEP's editor valiantly continued to watch the skit as it unfolded in all its dramatic glory, like a flag unfurling to reveal the stars and stripes, and fictionally revealing the origin of a confusing and chaotic system of combination of European and United States units of weights and measures. In 1777 America had not yet discovered the clean energy sources of wind, solar and geothermal power powering an electric grid extending to all rural areas, and had not yet made generally available in the United States. In 2023, heat pumps that work at temperatures down to 40 degrees below zero, centigrade or Fahrenheit. Both temperature systems converge briefly at 40 degrees below zero Fahrenheit as well as centigrade. Heat pumps will also be awarded rebates in 2024 that will probably cut their cost to the consumer in half. The SNL skit transcribed script. The American Camp, 1777. A 1777 American soldier says, "I hear the British are sending another 5,000 troops. How will we ever win this war?" General George Washington suddenly appears at the campfire, saying, "By remembering what we fight for." There is a commotion and there is awe because General Washington is visiting the soldiers' campsite. General Washington says, "Sit, please. We need your strength for the fight ahead. We fight for a country of our own, a new nation where we choose our own laws." All the soldiers say, "Here, here, sir. Washington, choose our own leaders." The soldiers, "Yes, sir. Washington, choose our own systems of weights and measures." First laughs from the audience. Soldier, "Weights and measures, sir?" Washington, "Yes, I dream of that. One day our proud nation will measure weights in pounds. And that 2,000 pounds shall be called a ton." Second big laugh from the audience. Actor Mikey Day, "And what will 1,000 pounds be called, sir?" Washington, "Nothing. Because we will have no words for that." Actor Mikey Day, "It seems that we should have a word for 1,000 pounds, sir." Washington, "And yet, we won't. Because we are free men. And we will be free to measure liquids in liters and milliliters. But not all liquids, only soda, wine, and alcohol." Soldier, "Only those, sir?" Washington, "Yes, because for milk and paint we will use gallons, pints and quarts, God willing." Soldier, "Okay, how many liters are in a gallon, sir?" Washington, "Nobody knows." Actor Kenan Thompson, "And sir, in this new country, what plans are there for man of color such as I?" Washington, rubbing his hands in anticipation. "Distance will be measured in inches, feet, yards, and miles. Washington puts his hand reassuringly on Kenan Thompson's shoulder and continues, so 12 inches to a foot. Actor James Austin Johnson 12 feet to a yard? Washington, if it only were so simple. 3 feet to a yard. Actor James Austin Johnson, and how many yards to a mile? Washington, nobody knows. Actor Kenan Thompson, okay, how many feet to a mile? Washington, 5,280 of course. It's a simple number that everyone will remember. Actor Mikey Day, I must confess, it feels a little complicated, sir. Why not use meters and kilometers? Washington, showing contempt for track and swimming, we will, soldier, but only in certain unpopular sports like track and swimming. For popular sports like football, we will use yards. Actor Bowen Young, football, sir? Washington, yes, it's a sport where you throw a ball with your hands. Actor Mikey Day, so in football, there is no kicking? Washington, there's a little kicking. You kick the ball to get points. Actor James Austin Johnson, how many points, sir? Washington, sometimes 1 and sometimes 3. Actor Mikey Day, I'm very confused, sir. Washington, do not worry, for our new nation will have rulers with 2 sets of numbers, inches on one side, centimeters on the other. Actor Bowen Young, excitedly, so we can see how they line up? Washington, yes, except that they don't line up, and they never will. Actor Bowen Young, why? Washington, liberty, son. Liberty. Actor Kenan Thompson and the slaves, sir, what of them? Washington, putting his hand on Kenan Thompson's hand reassuringly, you asked about the temperature. Actor Kenan Thompson, I did not. Washington, continuing obliviously, we shall have 2 different unrelated scales of temperature. One of them will make sense to the entire world. And the other will be super random. Our great nation will use the random one. Actor Bowen Young, what is the scale called, sir? Washington, apologetically, Fahrenheit. Actor Bowen Young, spell for me? Washington, impossible. But one day, if we are brave, we will get rid of the U in a lot of British words, like color and armor. But by God, we will keep the British U in the word glamour. Actor Mikey Day, only glamour, sir? Washington, putting his hand on Mikey Day's knee, only glamour. That is my dream for our country, men. A melting pot of different measurements. That will make European men throw little tantrums. Washington stands proudly in short, a land of liberty. Actor Kenan Thompson, where all men are free. Washington puts his hand on Kenan Thompson's shoulder, reassuringly, but then pivots and walks away solemnly without a word. Actor Kenan Thompson calls out from the campfire group, while Washington exits with dignity and solemnity, where all men are free, right? 1777 and 1988 parallels. RAWSEP's editor found obvious parallels between Washington's fictional 1777 imposition, during an air-polluting campfire visit to soldiers, in the Saturday Night Live sketch, imposition of a confusing American system of weights and measures during the American Revolution. In real life, since the American Revolution, we have used a confusing mixture of 2 systems of weights and measures, and the Environmental Protection Agency's, EPA's, 1988 unfortunately real, unscientific, imposition of certification of indoor residential wood stoves as safe can be juxtaposed against a scientific, reasonable system of controlling wood smoke pollution, PM 2.5 purple air monitors placed in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners whose wood smoke enters the near neighbors' yards and sickens the near neighbors. The data downloaded by the general public from purple air PM 2.5 monitors could be used to stop indoor residential wood burning that endangers public health and hastens climate change. In this sketch, Washington introduced chaos and confusion and rejected a perfectly functional British scientific measurement system for his own ends, in order to maintain independence and freedom from England's system of weights and measures for no scientific reason, only to claim that the new system would enhance liberty and freedom from England's pre-existing perfectly functional systems of weights and measures. There are also obvious parallels here with the chaos and confusion imposed by rejection by some political groups in the United States of scientifically based, public health miracles, COVID-19 vaccines, in order to proclaim liberty from science and public health measures which benefit everyone in the United States. There are other obvious parallels, but the focus of this website https://rawspresidents.wordpress.com with email rawspresidents@gmail.com is Residents Against Wood Smoke Emission Particulates, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, which is writing a grant to hand out PM 2.5 monitors to any near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose smoke enters the yards of and sickens the neighbors. A second focus of the grant that is being written is a wood stove exchange program of wood stoves with heat pumps for indigent wood burners, and concomitant handout of heat pumps to the reporting near neighbors using a sliding income and subsidy scale up to almost 100% subsidy based on income to near neighbors who are sickened by indoor residential wood burning. In this way, the RAWSEP pilot demonstration project will point out how local, state, or federal governments can take on this handout and subsidy of heat pumps to communities which need a substitute for wood burning for home heat in order to sustain breathable air in those communities, and cut down on the total CO2 and PM2.5 emissions in the world, in the interest of slowing climate change. How did we get in this predicament in 2023? Why are we breathing smoke from wood burning in modern America, instead of using clean energy sources for home heating? It was the seminal decision in 1988 to certify indoor residential wood stoves as safe, against the weight of overwhelming scientific evidence even in 1988 that breathing in particulates from wood burning was not safe, and natural gas for instance emitted 450 times less particulates than wood burning. Wood burning is 90% PM2.5, particulates of 2.5 micrometer size, the perfect size to infiltrate the human lung, setting off a cascade of human health problems and early deaths. Hyper-localized purple air PM2.5 monitors collect data on whether PM2.5 is above National Ambient Air Quality Standards, NOx, set by the EPA, and that purple air data is easily downloadable every 3 days from the purple air map, for every individual PM2.5 monitor that is resident-owned. Purple air PM2.5 monitor data is also put on US EPA AirNow maps of smoke and fire alongside $100,000 EPA PM2.5 monitors, correlated to those EPA PM2.5 monitors with a simple mathematical formula. In Wisconsin, and perhaps across the United States, that formula is PA times 0.514 plus 1.8304. The fact that there may be different formulas for correlating purple air data to EPA monitors from different states is confusing. The PM2.5 correlation formulas for each state should be readily available on a central federal website, or if they are already available, they should be clearly pointed to by the federal government. RAWSEP is using the Wisconsin correlation formula for all PM2.5 monitor readings on each RAWSEP coast-to-coast video. The fact that $229 purple air PM2.5 monitors use lasers to count PM2.5 particles passing in the air in front of the monitor and publish the results every 10 minutes, making purple air data real-time data, makes the readings from purple air monitors slightly different from $100,000 EPA monitors, dinosaurs, which catch the PM2.5 particulates in front of them, separate the particulates into wood density and gravel density, weigh the particulates from each category and publish the results every hour. But purple air PM2.5 data is shown on purple air maps using a sliding scale from green to purple, the same scale that the AirNow maps use, from green to purple. Purple on a purple air map and purple on an AirNow map show relatively the same levels of PM2.5 in the ambient, outdoor, air, and purple for both signifies high levels of pollution, where residents are warned to stay indoors with air purifiers running, and warned not to exercise outdoors, in the interest of their health. But there are fewer $100,000 EPA PM2.5 monitors than $229 purple air PM2.5 monitors. That does not mean that there should be more $100,000 EPA PM2.5 monitors in the yards of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners whose wood smoke enters their yards and sickens the near neighbors. That means that there should be $229 purple air PM2.5 monitors in the yards of near neighbors, to collect evidence of levels of PM2.5 above NOx standards. That is because levels of PM2.5 from indoor residential wood burning must be measured hyperlocally, in residential neighborhoods, or the neighborhood PM2.5 pollution will be unrecorded and can be ignored, and has been ignored in government statistics. Measurements must be made that have not historically been made, for environmental justice for near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners whose smoke enters the yards of near neighbors and sickens them. Accurately measuring air pollution and shutting down air pollution sources, no matter how small and local the source, does not just benefit near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. Cumulatively, each indoor residential wood burning contributes to the PM2.5 and CO2 pollution emitted into the world, hastening climate change and affecting the whole world's future adversely. If Washington visited a group of men in a smoke-filled room in 2023, the script might go like this: if women and other unrepresented groups or minorities were also in the room, although probably uninvited and reluctantly. Washington says since 1988, we have a system of certifying indoor residential wood stoves as safe. Woman 1 says, are certified wood stoves really safe? The smoke from my neighbor's wood stove makes me sick. I can't go out in my own backyard without getting sick, with my throat and eyes burning. I am captive in my own home beside multiple air purifiers. It is no way to live. Scientific and medical demographic and hospitalization data shows that the particulates from wood smoke cause cancer, heart attacks and strokes. It is not safe to exercise outdoors safely, or to go about normal activity like attending school or traveling to workplaces when wood smoke fills the air. There are long-term consequences to breathing wood smoke that are not readily apparent, but our senses tell us that wood smoke is affecting us, and if our human senses don't warn us or if we discount our human senses, then a PM 2.5 monitor can detect PM 2.5 even at low levels. Canaries in a coal mine as air pollution detectors were replaced in British mines in 1987, with CO2 detectors, and mining became more safe for that reason, as well as sparing the lives of canaries. Human beings should not be canaries in a coal mine used to detect PM 2.5, rather than using purple air PM 2.5 monitors. Using purple air PM 2.5 monitors would mean scientific measurement is used, and using purple air PM 2.5 monitors would spare the lives of near neighbors of indoor residential wood burners. The purple air PM 2.5 sensor in my backyard tells me when the levels of PM 2.5 are high. My Ring camera pointed at the roof of my near neighbor so as not to invade his privacy shows smoke billowing from his wood stove smokestack at the same time that PM 2.5 levels in my yard are high. And still the local health department will not shut down the indoor residential wood stove because it is certified safe by the EPA. Washington, do not fear, a system is in place that differentiates us from the tyranny of resident-owned purple air PM 2.5 monitors, the $100,000 EPA PM 2.5 monitors used solely to measure wildfire smoke, since they are not located close enough to your neighbor's indoor residential wood burning to pinpoint it as the source of a part of the PM 2.5 existing in the ambient air. At the airport or near the industrial plant, or near a forest where wildfire is anticipated, are typical places where a $100,000 EPA PM 2.5 monitor is located. Would you ask the United States government to put a $100,000 EPA PM 2.5 monitor in your backyard? That seems a little extreme. Woman 1, no, I would like the 1988 to 2023 system of certifying indoor residential wood burners as safe to be scrapped, since it allows this pollution to continue. I would like that certification of wood stove system to be replaced by a complaint-based system of using the data from purple air PM 2.5 monitors indicating PM 2.5 levels above NOx to be used instead, which will result in polluting indoor residential wood burning to be shut down for public health reasons. Washington, the liberty of indoor residential wood burners is threatened. Live free to burn wood and die in the process. Woman 2, are you a indoor residential wood burner yourself? Washington, it's cozy, if I can use that word that seems to appear everywhere on TV, in the movies and in the weekly shopper sent to my mailbox. I'm suggestible, you could even say gullible, about ignoring threats to my own health. I'm easy like a Sunday morning. Wood-burning fireplaces are in all the ads for luxury homes. You've made it in America if you are free to burn wood. Fire pits have been advertised extensively since 2010. It's the new dirty inhale craze for the new generation. Wood stoves are even allowed to be advertised as smokeless when they are obviously not smokeless. It's freedom without labels. But freedom is not free. In this case, since it is accompanied by sickness and death. You are bringing me down, woman. Woman 1, so a solution has been offered to get us out of this mess on a residential level. A complaint-based system. A near neighbor of an indoor residential wood burner whose smoke invades the yard of the near neighbor can use a scientific method of measuring the level of PM 2.5 that enters the near neighbor's yard. It's called a purple air PM 2.5 monitor. It's only $229 and it hangs from the eaves of the near neighbor's house, collecting data every 10 minutes, and each 3 days of data is easily downloadable from the online Purple Air map. With this 3-day increment data, the near neighbor, RAWSEP presidents in its coast-to-coast videos, or the local, state, or federal health departments can analyze the 3 days of data to easily show the percentage of the 3 days that PM 2.5 levels were above NOx standards. That scientific evidence should be the evidence used to shut down polluting wood-burning stoves. Polluting wood-burning stoves should not be kept in service only because of the 35-year tradition of 1988 to 2023 certification of wood stoves, which in February 2023 the watchdog of the EPA, the Office of the Inspector General or OIG, said was a flawed certification system because of successful lobbying by the wood stove industry for loopholes to even the lax standards of the EPA. Don't burn wood to begin with. Wood burning emits more PM2.5 and CO2 than coal burning. Wood burning emits 450 times the particulates as natural gas burning. Home heating should be clean heating in 2023. We have the alternatives for clean home heating by wind, solar and geothermal energy sent to an electric grid that includes even rural areas. In 2023 clean energy heat pumps that work down to 40 degrees below zero Celsius and Fahrenheit, since both temperature systems converge briefly at 40 degrees below zero. Washington, if it only were so simple. Woman 2, why not? Washington certification of indoor residential wood stoves as safe. It's a traditional, cozy system that everyone will remember. Woman 1, remember like the plague. I must confess, sir, certification of indoor residential wood stoves feels a little complicated, sir. Why not use a complaint-based system using Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors? Washington, showing contempt for measuring neighborhood air pollution. We will use PM 2.5 data, soldier woman, but only in certain unvisited government sites like the AirNow map of smoke and fire, unvisited except for when there is wildfire smoke in a certain area. For air pollution from wood burning that plagues many neighborhoods, so many neighborhoods that they are uncountable in my estimation, we will use the failed system of certifying wood stoves as safe, although adding unnecessary wood smoke to the air by wood burning is outmoded in this day and age, and is harmful to human health. You are making my head hurt. Woman 1, I am not a soldier woman, I'm just a citizen of the United States who spent the $229 myself for a Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor, but no matter. AirNow maps of smoke and fire? I contribute my Purple Air PM 2.5 data to those AirNow maps. I have the only Purple Air PM 2.5 monitor in my zip code, so other citizens benefit from my data when they are plagued by wildfire smoke, so ordinary citizens know when to stay inside with multiple air purifiers running or whether they can venture outdoors safely. Woman 2, so in deciding if a wood stove is polluting, ambient air PM 2.5 levels in near neighbors' yards are ignored by health authorities, if the wood stove is certified safe by the EPA? Even if the OIG, watchdog of the EPA, stated in February 2023 that the EPA wood stove certification system is deeply flawed, and resulted in most if not all wood stoves manufactured and sold being highly polluting? And wood burning emits more PM 2.5 and CO2 than coal burning? And wood burning emits 450 times the PM 2.5 as natural gas burning? Washington $100,000 EPA PM 2.5 monitors and $229 Purple Air PM 2.5 monitors initially have two sets of numbers. We discount Purple Air numbers by multiplying them using this simple mathematical formula. In Wisconsin, at least, we don't publicize the systems of correlation in other states, or those mathematical formulas are not easy to find on government websites. After the Purple Air numbers are correlated with $100,000 EPA monitor numbers, both are put on AirNow maps of smoke and fire. Do not worry, for our new nation will have rulers with two sets of numbers, Purple Air PM 2.5 numbers on one side, PM 2.5 EPA standard numbers on the other. Woman 2, so we can see where Purple Air data lines up with EPA standard data? So the Purple Air numbers after correlation with EPA standard numbers can be used for a complaint-based system where the near neighbor collects PM 2.5 data in the near neighbor's yards, and can use that data to shut down his or her neighbor's indoor residential wood burning that exceeds the EPA's own NOx standards. Washington, but we will not use either number to shut down indoor residential wood burning. Woman 2, and forget the certification of indoor residential wood burners because the OIG says that is a failed system? Woman 1, and the near neighbors who experience health problems and early deaths, sir, what of them? Washington, reassuringly you asked about the certification of indoor residential wood stoves as safe. Woman 1, I did not. Washington, continuing obliviously, by 2027 we shall have some tiny improvement to the failed system of certification of indoor residential wood stoves. Continuing certification of indoor residential wood stoves will not make sense to the entire world. It will be super random. Our great nation will use the random system. This will bring merriment in smoke-filled rooms, and continue to bring profits to the indoor residential wood-burning industry. And by God, we will keep replacing coal-burning plants with wood-burning plants, calling wood-burning carbon neutral, zero carbon and renewable against all reason and against the protests of the scientific and medical community, and continue giving big subsidies to wood-burning, and continue giving subsidies to the failed and expensive attempts at carbon capture instead of stopping wood-burning at the source. Woman 1 Indoor residential wood-burning and industrial, wood-burning biomass plants will continue to be supported by the government, sir? Washington Burnwise will explain it all on government websites. Although the word burnwise is an oxymoron. Woman 1 Burning wood is never wise when we have the clean alternatives of wind, solar and geothermal in 2023 and subsidies for heat pumps in 2024. Burnwise is a mouthpiece for the indoor residential wood-burning industry. Washington wood-burning for residences and an industry, that is my dream for our country, men. A melting pot of different measurements. That will make near neighbors of indoor residential wood-burners whose wood smoke invades their yards and infiltrates their homes throw little tantrums. Washington stands proudly in short, a land of liberty. Woman 1 where all people are free to breathe clean air. Washington pivots and walks away solemnly without a word. Woman 1 calls out while Washington exits with dignity and solemnity where all people can breathe clean air, right?